can't stop drafting these 5 gentlemen on screen. I can't stop. I keep drafting them over and over and over, and I'm not apologetic about it. I think diversifying your fantasy football portfolio is smart. I do. And the only high ADP player would be Jeremiah Love, which honestly, he's going like 12 picks later than he should go. So I keep overdrafting him, and I'm not apologetic about it at all. Igbuka in the 4th round territory, almost breaching 5 in many cases. In a bunch of drafts, depending on the flow, you could get him at 4.12, 4.11, 4.10. But he does have an ADP around the 4.5 territory overall. Kind of the higher ADP if you're looking at these 5 gentlemen. The rest of them, Casey Concepcion, you're talking about a player taken in the 10th round. Jonah Coleman is going in the mother freaking 12th round. And then you look at a player like Manungai, who's going at 8.10 to 9.2, 9.1, 90s in the 90s. That's why we call it 92.5 Manungai radio, because he goes at 92, 90 overall, 89 overall. These are steals. These are league winners. These are players that are going to outperform their ADP to an extreme degree. We're here for it. You're here for it. I'm here for it. The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Show is here for it, and it begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. We're live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. And we're also live at midnight Eastern almost every single night, and we draft. So if you want to draft with us tonight, don't dilly-dally. Hit the link that's pinned in the live chat. Hit the link that's in the description if you're watching the replay so you're ready next time. Code Smitty gets it done as well, but the link inserts Code Smitty for you. 50% match on your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be drafting said gentlemen above. We'll be taking Jeremiah Love at 18, 20, 22, 21, 24 at the 2-3 turn. Getting this man as, technically speaking, your third drafted player is just asinine and Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Gunner.com, Smitty approved. Smitty approved is brought to you by Gunner.com. Get your blue light blocking glasses. Your boy wears his every single show. Every show for the last, 5-6 years. Let's get into drafting soon, but let's real quickly go over each one of these individual players. We've talked about Jeremiah Love a lot, so I won't go over it too much other than to say that he's still falling 10, 12 picks further than he should be going. And anybody that says, hey, Smitty, but it's not the best environment. I heard on another channel that it's not the best situation and that potentially he's going to lose work to Algier. This is the 3rd overall pick. This is not somebody that's losing work to Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is there to serve a purpose, to get him water, to take on 8 or 7 carries up the gut, 3 2.5 yard carries, the ones that you don't want Love breaking down. Like, hey, this is going to probably be one of those, get a little room before we're on 3rd down, we can throw. Let's just run it up the gut for 2.5 yards. It's going to be a brutal run. Hey, Love, why don't you take this brutal carry? No, you give those to Algier, which change of pace back. Sometimes the defense shifts up and then he breaks a long run. People go, oh God, Algier's so great. He's good. He's good, but he's not great. This man is more than great. He's elite. No one's taking his workload. No one's taking his job. And he lives in a conducive environment for fantasy football scoring because the man lives in an offense that had McBride, the number 1 tight end in fantasy football history, given the football, fed the football by a man named Brissett who broke the completion record in the NFL last year. The man that was scoring like a 5-7 quarterback every single time he started for the Arizona Cardinals. The man that took Michael Wilson Jr. and turned him back into a relevant player, a wide receiver 2, I might add, in Michael Wilson. And he didn't even have MHJ healthy or playing well at all. Imagine what Brissett does with MHJ. And Brissett was just anointed the starter today. Took the Cardinals, this imbecile organization. I live in Arizona. I can speak to that. And it took them this long to anoint him the starter. But it doesn't matter because Brissett's a baller. And yes, they can try and set him up for failure. Not going to work too well because Brissett performs, Brissett produces, and Brissett is a dog with his back against the wall, doesn't make mistakes or worry or get nervous or say, I might, if I play bad, get unseated. He's too old for that shiat. Just like I'm too old for that shiat when people come in here and try and act like the Cardinals are a bad landing spot. You give Brissett, McBride, this offense, Michael Wilson, a healthy MHJ, and now you hand them a top 3 talented running back, most talented top 3, in the top 3 for sure, in terms of talent. In this National Football League, you hand the Cardinals a top 3 running back talent in both the receiving and rushing game. What do you think happens to Brissett's production then? It goes up even more. Everything about this Arizona Cardinal offense, except for LaFleur, and especially Nathaniel Hackett, is amazing. The only thing that the caveat here is, do they screw it up royally at some point during the season? Doesn't sound like it's right away. Why? Because you're getting Brissett. This is a easy slam dunk home run, second drafted player, almost third drafted player, in some cases third drafted player, pick in fantasy football 2026. And those people sitting on their hands listening to the Mickey Mouse content creator that goes, I just don't think it's a real good environment and they don't have a quarterback in Arizona. I would suggest you close that window, unsubscribe, and just kind of meander on over to this channel full time because I go live 3 to 5 times a day. You don't have time for another channel. And if you're wasting your time over there, you're missing content here and you wouldn't be getting this information fed to you, spoon fed to you. Jeremiah Love is going, no, not to the moon. No, not to Mars. No, not to Saturn. He's going to
Jupiter.
To Jupiter. And as you see, he's on Jupiter board.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no big...
Next man up on this list, and then we'll draft as soon as we're done with this, ladies and gentlemen. You just hang tight. You just wait. We're gonna be firing off a draft. Get ready. Sign up under Underdog promo code Smitty. Hit the link that's in the live chat. The link is pinned in the description, or pinned in the live chat in the description. Code Smitty gets it done as well, but the link inserts code Smitty for you, so it's a lot easier to just be lazy and hit the link. Get ready. Sign up. Don't be sitting there trying to do it at the last second. Get ready because we're drafting. This man right here, I'm drafting him. If you don't draft him, I'm drafting him. And he's going at, what did we say, 12th round? 12th round ADP. What in the hell are people doing? This guy could be the starter by midseason. I love Harvey. I do. And Harvey could retain his Kenny Gainwell role, which is probably what he's regulated to going forward. And it just is what it is. Does he have upside if everybody got hurt to take over and be a top 5 to 7 running back in an offense that Sean Payton's commanding? Absolutely. So I still like Harvey. I'm not getting rid of him in leagues and dynasty leagues where I own him and selling him for pennies on the dollar. The man had 10 touchdowns last year. 12 touchdowns. Sorry. Pardon me. 12 touchdowns last year. And even if he doesn't run for more than 600 yards or something, and scores 5 rushing touchdowns, which he'll certainly do. That's the kind of work he's getting for sure if he's healthy. He's pulling in 4 or 5 touchdowns. He's pulling in 40 receptions for another 350 to 400 yards. So you're getting almost let's say a worst case scenario, 900 yard and 9 to 10 touchdown, 35 to 45 reception running back that you don't have to draft, but in the flex territory. You heard me correct. Let's go to the board and just see where all these guys' ADPs are. Coleman is going so far down. Harvey is going in what territory? Probably, let's take a look at his ADP. His ADP is trash in a good way. Trash in a good way. He's a cuff. He's going in the 80s. He's going in the 80s. You're getting Coleman and Harvey in this getting Coleman way past this. Coleman's going 12th round. I don't have 12 rounds on here. He's going 4 rounds after my last round listed here, round 8. That's why Coleman's down at the bottom. So don't take him in round 8. But you're taking Harvey in this territory. 8th round, wherever the hell he falls, 9th round sometimes. These are 2 handcuffs essentially in terms of the price tag. And you're going to be able to get Harvey and Coleman and redraft Harvey and Coleman in best ball and cover yourself. And when JK goes down, and he will go down, and if he doesn't get fed enough carries to injure him, then that means that Harvey's going to bowl as a Gainwell type, receiving back. But if JK goes down, Coleman goes into JK starting role. Harvey stays where he is. And then if Harvey doesn't cut it, this man's going to take over all the work. And if Harvey does cut it, Jonah Coleman's still going to get enough volume that this might be 1,000-yard pace rusher. He's not going to necessarily hit 1,000 because he might not get in there till later. And you're getting a league winner per start in Jonah Coleman. Just a league winner per start. As is this man, Kyle Manungai. Kyle Manungai is a monster in the making. He is sitting there dormant like a superhero with a switch ready to be flipped. And everybody's sitting here not understanding that Mount Manungai, 92.5, Kyle Manungai radio. This man is sitting there fermenting, growing by the second, getting more dangerous and stronger by the second, eating spinach, can after can, waiting there for his turn to not just give you 908, which he would do in his sleep. Even sharing carry, let's call it 6 to 8, 900 rushing yards and 6 to 8 touchdowns if they decide in Chicago not to turn the keys over to the Manungai. If the Chupacabra doesn't get full workload at some point, he's getting you 906 to 8 touchdowns. That's if he craps the bed, goes out and gets ice or milk, and doesn't come back. That's what Manungai is bringing to the table. You think that he can't produce 1,200 yards rushing? Maybe 12 to 14 touchdowns on the ground if he's starting, let's say, even, I don't know, we'll call it 3/5 of the season. He could drop his end of season stats if he starts like 3/5 of the season. Could be literally 1,200, 1,150. Let's call it 1,150 and 11 to 12 touchdowns. Maybe more. If let's say he starts a lot earlier than people think. In week 1 or week 2, Swift gets injured. They decide to do something crazy, whatever. He starts a majority of the year. He's getting you 1,200 plus and 12 plus touchdowns. Still getting you 35, 40 plus receptions for like 300 receiving yards or more. That's really lowballing his reception production. But this guy is a monster waiting to happen. Monster.
Damn, I love what you do to me.
92.5.
And that was some smooth jazz you've been listening to here on KMNG Kyle Manungai Radio. This next song goes out to Denny. It's called Hold My Tutty Nice and Strong. KMNG Smooth Jazz Radio.
Tutty buddy, how many tutties, buddy, are you gonna score all of the suddy, buddy? Mount Manungai is so strong.
Mount Manungai is so strong. KMNG Mount Manungai Radio is here for the taking. KMNG, do it live. Draft him. You won't be sorry because he goes at mother freaking, what do we say the ADP was? It's 92.5, the radio station. That's about what his ADP. It's climbing to about 90.0. But we're keeping it 92.5 when we discuss this. But we're talking about 8.10. So Jonah Coleman's in 12. Don't pay attention to Jonah Coleman here because he's not going in 8. This guy's going in 8. Manungai's going in 8. Manungai's a league winner. Look at me. Look at me. Look at my eyes. A league winner. Okay? Bring it in. League winner. And you're sitting here debating whether, I kind of like, who do you like in round 8 better than Kyle Manungai? The answer should be nobody. Nobody. This guy's winning leagues in round 8. We're cleaning up. We're cleaning up.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I'd have to say, next up, we talked about Coleman, we talked about Mount Manungai. Let's go to Casey Concepcion to finish it off strong with Igbuka, who we talked about the other night, so on the Dynasty channel, but there's never too much Igbuka talk, so it's no problem. But this man, Casey Concepcion, I'll tell you right now, I'm so excited about him. And I'm drafting him every turn. I'm trying to find my graphic for him because I redid the graphic. I want to make sure I'm not putting up the old one because I spent so much time making all these. Where the hell is it? Where the hell is my Casey Concepcion graphic? I just spent so much time on it. Is he on the midseason? He's got to be on one of the boards, right? Is he on the Moon Man list?
The Moon Men dropping loads and
Mars?
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Boy.
Mars Men.
Midseason monster? I mean, that's where Coleman is, but why don't we have Casey Concepcion? This is the old graphic. I will replace it, but Casey Concepcion does need to be on the midseason monster board. He could certainly kick off the season amazingly, but he will be a midseason monster at the very least. So he's going to go on this board 100%. And let me see if I can find the other graphic in a minute, but let's not waste any time. And let me get back over to the mock board and just tell you where you're getting Casey Concepcion because it's the 10th round. So I don't even have, I need to have like a rounds 9, 10, 11, 12. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's going past the pick round 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you're winning your league. Casey Concepcion at freaking 10.5. I think it's 10.5. 10.5 is ridiculous. It's almost stupid. Like, if anybody wants to go very, very thin at their wide receiver 3, let's say you wanted to literally, your cojones this big, you know, you wheelbarrow them in to the draft, and you're like, I'm going to go wide receiver, you know, running back, wide receiver, running back, quarterback, tight end, and I'm going to kick my wide receiver 3 downstream as far as I can. Casey Concepcion's your guy. That's who you call up and you say, hey, Casey, this is, I got Hammer in the building. I got, we're getting Igbuka next, Hammer. He's the last one. Appreciate all my Rumblers over on Rumble. Got Hammer, Vader. Who else is in the building over on Rumble? Bare Bones, 420 Man, Simi Valley, Aldi. Appreciate you. Travis, all the mods in the YouTube chat. This is the guy you call up and you say, yeah, may I speak to Casey Concepcion, please? Yes, Concepcion, Casey. Yeah, tell Casey that I need him to step up. Yeah, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 75 receptions at least. Done? Thank you. You call this man for your wide receiver 3, and you ask him to deliver, and he shall deliver. This is the easiest wide receiver 3 call that there is in fantasy football. Almost, period. End of story, end of discussion. I'm drafting so much Casey Concepcion. He's probably going to be my number 1, 2, or 3 most drafted player from the draft on, because there's 2 different exposure that you can check on Underdog. You could check the pre-NFL drafts and contests exposure, and then the post-NFL draft exposure. And I'm almost guaranteeing he's in the top 5. I'm drafting him in every single league because in the 10th round, there's nobody that has Casey Concepcion's upside. Nobody in the 10th round. Period. End of discussion. I'd take him in 8. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell a single soul, but I'd take him in 8 if I need to. But some of you don't listen. Some of you hear me say Casey Concepcion, he's a stud wide receiver 3. If you get him in 10 and you go and draft him in 7 or 8. Because I see some of the screenshots where I talk somebody up and then you guys go into a draft and you don't listen and apply it and you go draft them 3 rounds ahead. That's not the advantage point. You're going to crush your league if you stick to the plan. And you should do enough drafts, especially through Underdog, where you don't need to do this reach-a-thon every damn time you're drafting. Once in a while, sure, have a little fun. But goodness gracious, don't ruin the opportunity to get Casey Concepcion on the regular in round 10 because you get too excited. But look at the board here. Love at the 2-3 turn. Manungai in round 8. Jonah Coleman 12. Concepcion 10. I mean, this is just a remarkable group of players, and they're all over the map. So easy to attain. The only guy we've talked about that's even above round 8 is Jeremiah Love. You can consume all of these guys over and over and over. It doesn't affect anything. If one of them busts, doesn't matter. Pick up a waiver wire guy. You'll be fine. But if they land and he produces top 12 running back numbers, guess who's winning their league?
Let him cook.
If Casey Concepcion becomes this year's Parker Washington or Michael Wilson Jr., guess who's winning their league?
I smell meatloaf. Hey, Ma, the meatloaf.
You in the back, you over there. Yeah, Arthur, you win your league. Tron, you win your league. Well, maybe Tron. Tron, I don't know if you'll listen. Bleeko, I don't know if you'll listen either. DJ, you'll win your league. Got Simi, Hammer, Vader, Travis. That's league winning. And then we move on to the final chapter of tonight's I Can't Stop Drafting These 5 Guys over and 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 over. And that is Emeka Igbuka. Emeka Igbuka. This guy right here is a top 5. No, I did not stutter. There's no equivocation or stuttering or indecision. He's a top 5 to 10 wide receiver in 2026. And I don't understand how someone doesn't understand that that's happening. And when you pull up a mock board and slot said stud on said board, Buka is going in the middle of 4, sometimes the end of 4. I've gotten him at 5.1, 5.2 before. It's rare, but I've done it. Depends how the board falls. You know, if you have a string of people that went wide receiver heavy and you happen to be on this turn right here, you know, at 5.1, 5.2. And I take him at 5.1 instead of 4.12 to help his ADP, you know, go down. But like, let's say you're at this turn, the 4-5 turn, you're at 4.12 and 5.1. And you just get to this like range at the 10 pick in round 4 where it's like they haven't drafted any running backs yet. And the running backs fly off like 4 in a row. And then someone takes Loveland. And then all of a sudden Buka, who should go at 4.5, 4.6, which is what his ADP is, goes as the 5th drafted player to you. And you ring the bell. You sound the alarm. You go straight to the bank with your napkin with your team written on it. You say, what kind of IOU does this get me? Can I open up a checking account in advance? You know, you walk over to your local pub, you slap that napkin on the counter, you go, hey, open a tab. And they go, with what money? You say, look at my roster. It's written on the napkin, Steve. And he goes, holy crap, Margaret, come take a look at this when you get out of the shitter. This team is unbelievable. Look at it. He's got Emeka Igbuka as a late 4th or top of round 5 drafted player. This guy's a top 5 wide receiver. Buka was wide receiver 3, extrapolating weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through a 17-game season. We talked about this last night. No wide receiver but 2 were better than Emeka Igbuka during his 5-game stretch. That's not cherry picking the middle of the year. That's not saying if you take weeks 2, 5, and 7 and 12 and you get rid of everything else, get rid of the in-between, he would have been top 3, Smitty. No, we take his rookie year game 1, his rookie year game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5. Look at just that start before the team got injured, before Baker got injured, before everyone got injured, and the whole thing collapsed, just like in LAC for Gadsden and Ladd and Hampton, and everybody judges them when nothing went right. When everything goes down, what does deductive reasoning tell you? And everybody's horrible. Everyone on a great offense doesn't do a thing. Hampton, Gadsden, Ladd, Igbuka, Bucky, Baker, Evans. What does that tell you? Collapse. That means you can't judge any one of those monsters that are potentially on that roster. And if you're coy about it, if you're aggressively quiet, stealth-like in your draft, you can clean up on everybody's lack of understanding for what actually went down the year prior. And Buka is a monster. Buka is going to carry Triple H and Associates yet again this year, even though so many people want to pretend that Buka didn't do it and didn't do it well last year. You think what you want. My eyeballs don't lie to me. This is a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. I'm stealing him away in the 4th round.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates, locations on Earth and Jupiter.
This is going to be a revenge tour for Triple H and Associates. It really is. And if you're not on board, that's fine. And if you don't understand what you're getting into with Hampton, that's a top 12 overall player. Igbuka, top 5 to 10 wide receiver that you get in 4th round. Hendy, 4 to 5 round player that can play like a top 5 to 10 running back. Harvey, yeah, he kind of is what he is. And to be honest with you, I can do whatever the hell I want with these boards and these predictions. I don't need anybody's permission to say that this is going to be part of the Triple H and Associates. It's the Coleman assistant with Harvey. He's his assistant. This is like his receptionist. And if Coleman decides he wants to go ham and make Harvey look good and do all the research, just like a nurse does for a doctor, and the doctor gets all the credit, well, maybe Coleman, the intern, is going to help Harvey reach heights he's never dreamed of reaching, but do it through Coleman's production. So Triple H and Associates gets a new intern on the board that's going to help Harvey and that running back room, and it is what it is. And this man, Travis Hunter down below, everybody writing off, we get the glorious news that Travis Hunter is playing just as much wide receiver, if not more, this year than he was last year. And all the Mickey Mouse people that stood over and over and over, and don't listen to Smitty, Hunter's primary defensive back. Yeah, who'd you hear that from? Did you hear it from Cohen? No. Did you hear it from Gladstone? No. Did you hear it from Travis Hunter? Definitely no. So who'd you hear it from? Was it Rappaport? Did you not listen to Smitty? Because Hunter's going to be a wide receiver, a full-time wide receiver, to the degree that he's a 65% player. And if it doesn't even happen in week 1 because they want to get him off to a good start on defense, they plan 40% on offense. It's just to get it going. He will be 60-60. At some point, whether it's the end of this year, middle of this year, whatever, he will be at 60% wide receiver capacity by midseason, if not week 1. And that's all you need. We just talk about Gibbs gets 61% of the Lions' offensive carries and workload. Gibbs is a 61% earner of the workload, the running back workload in Detroit. 61. That's all. Bashal Tutin taking over ETN's role. How much work did ETN get last year? What was his percentage? And he was a monster. 54%. This whole notion of full-time. Do you even know what full-time is, Steve? Hey, Angry Angus and Upset Unger. And I'm confused, Caleb. Do you know what full-time even means in the National Football League? It doesn't mean 100% of the workload, Bob. Let's draft, everyone. Open up the Underdog app right now, and then I'm going to answer Super Chats as we start getting going here. So open up the Underdog app. Let me see if I can get in here and join in. Let's go to the lobby, click the lobby, click the NFL tab. That'll narrow it down nice and easy. I think I'm all maxed out on the Dotson, the Dotson, so I can't do that. Puppy. Let's do a puppy. $5 puppy. Hit the green button right now. Let's jump into a $5 puppy. Hit the button. If you don't get in, it's packed at this time of night. So sometimes they load right away. It says 3 to start. I can't control that. 420 man, appreciate the gifted membership. Simi Valley, appreciate the gifted membership. Life, appreciate your $4.99 hauler. I'll put that on screen in 1 second. And we got Vader with a super chat as well. Can you put up the cuff board, please? I certainly can, Vader. Here's the cuff board. Let me go over while you look at that. So here's the cuff board. Enjoy. And let me, whoops, wrong board. There's the board right there. There's the cuff board. Let me pull up this league here and try and put it on screen. There it is. Okay. And let me expand that out. And this will be the draft board in just 1 second. So here's the cuff board. I'm going to move things around. Walker and Johnson, I think, need to be a lot higher. All 3 of these running backs are required. Don't want to acquire them, then you shouldn't be drafting the starters, Hampton and McCaffrey. Coleman and Harvey, not worried about JK. Kyron and Corum, Bucky and Tucker and Gainwell required. You know, if you have to lose, you know, cut Tucker loose, you can get away with that. Manungai, Swift. This board is you know, it's going to move around a little bit. It's about the cuff, not the starter. Otherwise, Gibbs and Bijan would be number 1 because it's not about that. Let's go over to the draft board, and then we'll also handle these super chats in order in which they're received, and then I'll open the phone lines as soon as I get through the super chats. On the clock right now. CeeDee Lamb, JJ. I'm going to go JJ here. Go JJ. This is a puppy, not a weekly or anything. Vader, hopefully that was good enough to see that. You can also rewind it to screenshot it. Life, appreciate you. I'm in a 10-man 3-keeper league. I'm stuck between Rasheed in the 4th, Buka in the 5th, and Warren in the 6th, Nico in the 13th. Who should I drop? 3-keeper league. Okay, so you need to keep Rice. You need to keep Buka. You need to keep... Damn. I'd probably say Nico. I'd drop Warren. Reason I drop Warren's not because I don't love Warren, but Warren's ADP's around 5-6 anyway. I mean, Keeper League's different than Dynasty. So Keeper League, he's going to have a little bit later ADP like Redraft. So that's where he's going. Warren's going in 5-6. He's going in 6. So you have a much better chance of drafting back Warren, or you get Fannin. You know, you get somebody like that. You get Isaiah Likely. You'll be fine. But to punt, you can't punt the Rashi or Buka opportunity. And if you punt Nico 13th round, you're out of your mind. This is the easiest call in the world, bro. You're overthinking it. Warren can be drafted back. The other guys cannot. And even if you can't draft Warren back, you can draft Fannin. You can draft a player right there. That's literally the easiest question I've been asked all night. And I only say that so you know my confidence. I'm not making fun of the question. I'm just letting you know how confident I am. I think I've handled the super chats on the YouTube side. I think I'm caught up on the Rumble. I'm doing really good, aren't I? And not missing any Rumble messages or any YouTube messages. Ever since I got my new monitor, well, actually, I'm just using an iPad right now. Split screen on all the chats. I'm keeping up with it. It's a tough thing to do, but you balance it as you go. Rashi Rice, Neighbors. You guys see the top available players here. I don't have a ton of Malik Neighbors, but I do kind of want to RB. So I think I'm going to draft. I'm going to draft Jeremiah Love here. And it's a little early, but it guarantees me the RB that I need coming out of these first 2 rounds. I just don't want to wait all the way down and back and get screwed and have ETN as my running back 1, which I like as my running back 2. But I don't like that. This is a very balanced attack. And I still think Love's going to be a top 5 running back. So while some people might think Love's early there, I'll reach on Love 4, 5, 6 picks if it's the only running back left that I want to dance with. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in, dial in, dial in. Let's see here. You know, McBride falling to the 2-3 turn is wild. Because remember when he was going at 9, 10, 11, 12 at the very beginning, and we said take Bowers at the end of 12. Oh, I'm sorry, at the end of 2 instead of McBride at 9 overall. Now look at Bowers going early and McBride falling to 24 overall. It's wild. Why? Brissett's the one that made him the best tight end ever in fantasy football history. And yet we got people in this draft too, let him fall all the way to the 24 overall. I felt a little ashamed of myself letting him fall past the pick that I drafted at, where I took Love, but I needed a running back, and I felt like all things were equal. I lean position of need only. I take best player available, but when position of need is in talking about equal value, you lean position of need. This wide receiver team looks good here now, but boy, are you going to be in trouble at RB when you swing back around. Man, Pickens almost landed to me. Pickens almost fell to your boy. That was so close. ETN is the guy who always falls right here. I mean, he falls here like clockwork. I would have taken Josh Allen if he had fallen. I'm going to go ahead and draft. Man, I'm going to go ETN here. So Love, ETN, JJ. I do like Devontae, or I do like, I don't like Devontae Smith here. I do like Igbuka, but not here. I don't want to condone that or teach bad process. But yeah, no, and I see nobody should be drafting double tight end. Even in best ball, bully tight end is a little easier in best ball, but I constantly preach against anybody in a non-best ball to draft double tight end. See me, I don't know if that was what you meant by McBride / Bowers to the moon. Both of them are going to the moon. But if you're suggesting to draft them back-to-back, it's the worst idea in a non-best ball. It can work in best ball, but it's still hard. But it's the worst idea on planet Earth to draft both tight ends in a non-best ball and just run one in the flex. It doesn't... It's not a good move. It shouldn't say it's the worst idea known to man. It depends on how you fill those other spots, but it can be a devastating move. I've tried to help too many people out of that situation where they can't even get out of it. That is what I did. I wouldn't do that. You're going to be hurting at the other positions. The flex spot is, it's nice. That Bowers can play like a top wide receiver, like a top 10 wide receiver, but you cannot, it's gaining flexibility. It doesn't do anything. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rip on the approach. I see it all the time, and it never works well. Let's see. Mike Evans is a fantastic pick here. So I got JJ, Love, ETN, Mike Evans. Love that. Love that. I would have loved to have had one of those tight ends, though, of Bowers or McBride on this squad. I'll tell you. I would trade ETN if you're able to trade. And CB, if you want to call in and argue your stance on it, but I'm telling you, over the 25 years of doing this professionally, I try and help so many people get out of those situations, and it's hard to get out of this situation. What you end up doing is trading one of them later because your team can't hang for somebody that you could have got a better player if you just drafted that better player instead of the tight end at the moment in time you drafted. That's typically about 90% of what happens. Is there a world where Bowers and McBride both play like top 5 wide receivers, and thus you dominate your flex spot and your tight end 1 spot, and then you happen to draft this year's BTJ, you end up picking up this year's, Puka, whatever, and you end up filling those voids perfectly, and then you have this sweet, combination of things going on? Sure. Early Jadarian Price drafting there, which sucks. We're in Snipe City, so we're not getting a lot of these players to fall that would normally fall, which is okay. There's still so much talent on the board. Lamar's on the board. Bashal Tutin's on the board. Devontae Adams is on the board, who I don't love, but I like. Joe Burrow's there. BTJ's there. Jordan Tyson's there. JD5 is available. Tyler Warren's available. Hurts and Drake May, and the list goes on and on. So many good players available. I have no problem mixing it up and not just forcing another Jadarian Price build team because I got so many of them, which I'm very, very happy to have. But let's see. Lamar's really nice here. I'm going to go Bashal. Bashal, the facial Tutin, dropping wads here with Love, ETN, and Tutin. Those are really good RBs. Evans and JJ, fantastic. We'll kick the quarterback downstream just a little bit. I love Lamar in round 5. I almost couldn't turn it down. But because there are other quarterbacks that I still really like, and we'll see what happens on this turn if I get lucky or not. If not, there's still other quarterbacks that I like. And this is how you draft quarterback. Quarterback is not you set in stone you're taking a quarterback early. People that don't understand my concept and strategy with quarterback drafting aren't listening or paying attention. It's very clear to understand, and I'll explain it here in a nutshell in 1 or 2 sentences. You draft the best player available. If Josh Allen's the best player available, you take Josh Allen. If you see Pickens and maybe even A.J. Brown if he's in New England and Nico, and you're like, I like Josh Allen, but I like these players here, you take those players. Those are the players to draft. When you get to this point here where it's Tet McMillan, ETN I could draft over Josh Allen. But Tet McMillan, Devontae Smith, even Breece Hall, Olave, these guys are not better than Josh Allen. Josh Allen could outscore every single fantasy football player in 2026 by a landslide. So Josh Allen is the pick over everyone from here down. And so it becomes best player available. That is the only thing you're doing. When I got to this pick here and I saw Lamar Jackson, I'm taking the best player available. Lamar was not it. He was borderline it, but Tootin was there for the taking. Tootin's a top 10 potential running back. I could go either way, though. Lamar was a nice pick there, and Lamar just went in the 6th round. That's crazy. That's absolutely ludicrous. Now, do the two other quarterbacks that are here, well, Hurts too. You could say Hurts. Burrow, JD5, and Hurts, do all three of them go right here? Do the two top ones, and Hurts I consider the third, do they go here? BTJ, nice pick. Does it go quarterback here? It might, and leave me in a position where I have to take a Tyler Warren, which I'd gladly take, or a Jalen Hurts or Drake May. Drake May obviously as well. I would say I'm fine here. I might even punt quarterback one more time. We'll see who's on the board. But I'm looking at Alec Pierce. I'm looking at Mekhi Lemon. There goes JD5. So if Burrow goes here, Hurts, okay. But I could try and punt it and get Mahomes later. The question is who's here? MHJ? It's not bad. Tyler Warren's really nice here. But I think Joe Burrow is the best player available. This is how I decide when I'm drafting quarterback. Joe Burrow trumps everybody else. He just does. I like MHJ, but there's no guarantee. I like Tyler Warren, but I could also get Fannin, and I still love that. I like Likely a lot later on too. So this is just the smartest move right now to take Joe Burrow. I'm taking the best pick at every draft selection. Sounds very, very oxymoron, right? Or very Captain Obvious, I guess would be the better way to describe it. Like, best player available. What a wise man, idiot. It's harder than it looks because everybody struggles with it. They draft positions and not players. Draft players, not positions. You draft players and not positions, you end up making the right decision every time. Does it look like I made a mistake? I mean, Tootin could get hurt. Maybe you don't like Tootin, but this feels like I'm making the smartest choice at every decision. Where you look at another team that pile drives in, and I'm not saying that this team can't win. I like the Drake May pick a lot. I love the Hendy pick. But you're pile driving in the wide receiver strategy. You're forcing it in. There are people that do that, and then you don't love their team. This team actually did really well. The James Cook, Genty, Kyron. I don't know that I would have taken Kyron there. I would have maybe gone a different way. But you ended up having Igbuka, DJ Moore, and Lamar. That's a really good recovery there. And I say recovery because you put yourself at a disadvantage drafting 3 running backs in a row in a league where you start 3 wide receivers, and people are going to consume wide receivers like crazy. I need a wide receiver right here. You know who I'm looking at. And he's available, and we're doing it live. It is DK Metcalf time. DK Metcalf to the moon. DK Metcalf as my third wide receiver is glory. DK Metcalf as my third wide receiver is how you do it. Look at this team. JJ, Evans, DK. DK shouldn't be my wide receiver 3. I mean, does anybody understand that this situation, Aaron Rodgers coming back, McCarthy's offense, there's going to be volume upon volume. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Just cooking this draft. Look at the trio that I have. JJ, Evans, DK. Love, ETN, Tootin. Love it. Team number 3. Yeah, it's good. That's good. There's a lot of good teams. No one looks like they're really screwing up except for team 1. Draft slot 1 sharded the bed hard. Just diarrhea the bed really, really badly. Like you have to really punt. You have to really punt your draft to not win at the 1.1. Like you get the 1.1 Jahmyr Gibbs and then you get McBride. You should cakewalk. McBride and Gibbs. This guy should have drafted McBride, Gibbs, and Pickens. McBride, Gibbs, and A.J. Brown. McBride, Gibbs, and Nico. You have to really, step on your own stuff to punt not making it out of this group of weeks 1 through 14 to advance to the first round of the playoffs in this contest. To not do that from the 1 spot, you have to punt your draft. This guy punted his draft. Jacobs, Montgomery, Waddle, Lemon, Stevenson. That's probably the worst onslaught of 5 picks I've ever seen from that draft slot. Gee. Man, what do I do here? Mount Manungai or Harold Fannin? Love Harold Fannin, but I'm going to go Mount Manungai because there's still value. There's still a lot of value at tight end. You know, Goddard falls really late. I might do the Goddard and Stour stack on this one and just get that, you know, hunkered down. Where I got Kyle Manungai as my 4th running back. I wanted Fannin though too. That's the brutal choice. This is unbelievable. This is an unbelievable squad. This squad is cooking. Look at the 4 RBs. Love, ETN, Tootin, Manungai. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. P-Wash, Lemon, or Pierce? P-Wash. Mixing to the moon, bro. Stop. Stop. Man, this draft is cooking, bro. This draft is cooking. The 12 pick has Barkley, Walker, Higgins, Javonte, Watson. Sorry, but that's not going to win. 11 teams got Cook, Genti, Kyron, Igbuka, DJ Moore, Lamar, Michael Wilson. Probably in the top 6, I would say. I don't think it's the best team in the draft, but it's good. Lamb, Achane, Olave, Bucky, Tyson, BTJ, Parker, Washington, Dowdle. I think that team 10's really, really nice. I think the McCaffrey team didn't land the running back properly. You did a good job trying to do what you did, but it didn't work. You ended up screwing yourself out of an RB. You waited way too long to try and come back and grab Jaylen Warren. That was a disaster there, bro. Man, Kyle Pitts is there. Jeez, this is a really good. This is a really good value. This is why you keep taking the best player available. How is Kyle Pitts not the best move here? Period. He still could get traded. That's fantastic value. Oh, Shelly, I'm sorry. Was that you from the 1? Damn it. I'm sorry. I mean, the 1 slot's great. Shelly, I'm sorry. Damn it. I mean, I'm just kidding. It was a joke, because the whole thing was a joke. Shelly, I'm sorry. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. But if not, then I think now, that's a different Shelly. Oh, thank God. That's not me. Okay, so Shelly in the YouTube chat says that's not me. Hi, it looks like it's you. I'm getting a lashing from Smitty on my drafting. Oh, what draft slot are you then? Because that seems like the same username over on. So I think you're saying that I'm talking about another team. You weren't the 1 slot. Oh, the McCaffrey team, I bet. But okay, so that's good that you said that then. I'm glad that the McCaffrey team was a good strategy. It's just the board didn't fall right for you. And what I would have done is figured out a way to get back into an RB before, you only got down to Warren. So no, I'm glad Casey Concepcion. Let's go with our boy Casey Concepcion. Hey, Aldi or one of my mods, if you could hit that link, please. And get that guy. I ban him for life. I was talking about my dynasty drafting. I'm not this draft. Okay. Draft KC. I did. You think I'm not going to draft Casey Concepcion? What do I look like? What do I look like, my boy? What do I look like? Damn, I thought this was Shelly's team and I was just tearing it apart. I felt bad. I felt awful. But you know what? It's. I'm going to always be truthful. I think that's why a lot of you like watching the shows, because I shoot from the hip. I I don't glaze anything. I don't dance around anything. I tell you how it is. And if I hate the strategy or if I disagree, I'll tell you. I think that's why you watch. I mean, I can't believe I got Kyle Pitts still. This team is so well-rounded. This team is glorious. Just straight glory. And I still have some moves to make. Swinging back around to my pick. Let me scroll down. So again, my team from this what is it? 7 spot. JJ, Love, ETN, Mike Evans, Tootin, Burrow, Metcalf, Manungai, Kyle Pitts, Concepcion. Woo! Dial in if anybody wants to jump on the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
And phone line's been quiet the last 2 days. I don't know if everybody's on vacation or what in the hell is going on here. All right, on the clock here. I think I'm gonna. Oh man. Jeez. I'm gonna go Gadsden. There's nothing wrong with drafting multiple tight ends or positions late in a draft. That's not the argument that I was making earlier. The argument I'm making earlier was to take like your top 3 picks. Your 2 of them are tight ends. Putting yourself in a wild spot when you do that. So you got to be careful not to do that. But if Simi Valley, you want to call in and argue it, I'd be more than happy to civilly, obviously, Simi, I'd never yell at you. Debate the theory behind the double tight end in a non-best ball. In best ball, I'm okay with it a little more. But to use 2 of your top 3 picks on tight ends in a non-best ball is literally a death sentence for your team. But I'd love to hear your strategy. And actually, Simi, could you call in or at least post your team and let me break it down? And if you, I promise I'll be honest about it. If you cracked it, and I'm not saying it's easy to crack every time, but if you ended up figuring it out and drafting the ideal team, we'll talk it up and say this was the way that you do it if you do it. Like Simi did a great job executing upon it, and he did it successfully. It's really hard to do, but Simi did it, standing ovation. Or if not, I'll break down your team as to why it was a mistake and where it went awry for you. So if you want to share, definitely share. Now, I only have 1 quarterback. I'm a little hesitant to continue to pass on QB, but I've got Joe Burrow. I'm banking on Joe Burrow. I obviously want to have multiple quarterbacks. There's a couple quarterbacks I do like in this draft that are still there, but I just like Jonah Coleman more. Thank you, whoever hit that, Aldi, my mod. Appreciate you. Our phone lines have been just a ghost town the last 2 days. It's been strange. It does happen when we get into May. May's a weird month. May's almost like everyone gets pumped up about the draft, and then it kind of dips a little bit. People kind of get a little calm before the storm, and then June starts picking up, and then 4th of July happens, and then a switch gets flipped, and then it's just nonstop. I hope we're in like the thousands of live viewers at any one moment during any show we do. That's how crazy I hope it gets here really soon. Woody Marks. Yeah, it will be interesting what happens here. I don't know I'm hesitant to say it because I feel like someone's gonna, like Travis Hunter. I knew if I mentioned him, he would go, and I didn't, but he ended up going anyway. I'm hesitant to mention Cam Ward right here because I have a feeling he might take him because he needs a quarterback, so he might take him anyway. Okay, Cam Ward. Cam Ward's a fantastic second quarterback. Getting in round 13, that was an unbelievable fall. That was great. That was great. I couldn't be happier with that. Cam Ward, I think, is going to have a great year. Yeah, he's going to have a really good year. Definitely. Especially that value, You look at that value and you say, okay, I punted QB2 for a while, and all these QBs get ripped off the board, and I got what I believe to be a top 12 QB. Now, I did come at the expense of Tyler Algier cuffing to Love, but quite honestly, man, I think if Love went down, I don't even know that Arizona would use Tyler Algier as well as we think. We've seen Arizona when they're going, potentially rotationally with the RBs, and I just, it's not that important to me. If I can get it, I try to cuff Algier to Love, but it just doesn't feel like a must for me. I'd rather have Jonah Coleman than Tyler Algier. That's why I drafted Jonah Coleman, and so be it. Yeah. It's got someone left a comment on the video. It says, never smash Ant Smitty. What are you supposed to do, bro? You're supposed to flick them off and let them run away in your house? Like, what are you talking about? You never smash Ant Smitty. What do you do? You've got to relocate him. You got to relocate him, Smitty. I can't believe you did that to the ants. Let's go Jacoby here. So I got Ward and Jacoby and Burrow. Love it. Love it. It's fantastic. I almost want Mendoza because I really do I think Mendoza's going to have a good year. But, man, this Brissett, everybody keeps doubting he's top 5 to 7 per start. And by the time I need Mendoza, he should be in there. But I'd rather just have Brissett. Mendoza won't even play this year, says Aitor. I don't know if you can say that, bro. There's a chance he starts week 1, but it's a smaller chance than he doesn't. But they're going to put him in at some point, bro. I will challenge you that Mendoza starts at some point. You're going to blame it on injury or something. That's all part of the calculation here. So Torres, why don't you challenge? You drop a hefty super chat if you're wrong, and if not, I'll write I Torres on my arms and marker like I'm wearing sleeves, tattooed sleeves on my arms. But you probably won't show back up to square up. I'll tell you that, because very few do. Even what's his face, Gump never squares up, and he calls on the phone line still, and shows his face. That's kind of why I think he kind of vanishes at times, because he feels like he's just going to get heckled for not squaring up after such a challenge. What's my team look like? Three QBs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 RBs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. I could definitely use a wide receiver here. Antonio Williams is interesting. I'll take Antonio Williams. I like that as a fifth right there. I think he's pretty good. It's pretty good value. And then if I'm going to go RB shopping again, I probably have a couple tricks up my sleeve here. Wide receiver. I have a couple wide receivers I like too. Yep. Aaron Rodgers off the board there. I've got my 3 QBs already. I punted it for a while.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Charles says, now your QB room is solid. Burrow gives you a great weekly floor. and the other two have high ceilings. I agree. I think Ward and like if Burrow went down for 5 games, I don't think I miss a beat. Between Ward and Brissett, the optimal scoring would be getting near his number. Now, Brissett, as long as he stays in the lineup, this is a team in the Arizona Cardinals that appears not to understand what time it is. Thank you, Aldi. Appreciate you. Where is Husseini? Husseini, you were going to call in about your trade. Loveland is the best and safest pick ever. No, he's not. Bro, he's going way too early. Give me Jaylen Warren all day long, like nearly 2 rounds later. Like 4th round Loveland? No thanks. I need another tight end. I'm going to go with Eli Stowers, who I think at some point has my 3rd tight end. So I got Kyle Pitts, Gadsden, and then I'm taking a big swing for a multi-Swiss Army knife player that's going to play wide receiver, slot wide receiver. It's going to be exploding. Yeah, Loveland's way overdrafted. Loveland's probably one of the worst picks right now in fantasy football. Actually, Torres. I don't know what it is tonight about the things you're slinging my way, but I'm not agreeing with them. Are we truly banking on the return of JD5 this year? Yeah, not in all your leagues. You can't, but certainly need a share, bro. You need a couple shares of it. You don't want to be, off this train when the train starts going 88 miles per hour and the flux capacitor starts shaking. Do I make him my keeper at 14 round value for 2 seasons ago? Yeah, that's fantastic, bro. It's mother-freaking-tastic. Hey, Simi, did you write a message somewhere about your team? Because I'd love for you to call in if you're around to go through your situation. If you're not, let me know if you posted that and I'll go find it. I need another player, don't I? Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. I got 2 rounds left. So if I could go wide receiver if I wanted. And if not, I go 1 wide receiver and probably a running back. I think that's what I'll do. You're live. Who is this? Is this Simi?
No, this is Jake from San Diego.
Oh, Jake from State. What's up, Jake?
What's up, man? Wanted to get your opinion on like some real late round running backs. Like maybe, do you think James Conner is going to get like any play time at all, or what's going on with that?
That's cute, bro. Oh, hold on. Damn it. I'm going to time out. That's right. I had him queued. Tank Dell ain't bad. I had him queued. That's the top wide receiver. I mean, I think I could have combed through. I probably could have combed through the wide receivers and found somebody I might have liked better. I just queued him a while ago. But I'm looking down the wide receivers right now, and nothing's really standing out, to be honest. So that actually isn't that bad. I think Tank Dell is kind of an exciting later season story. And when you talk about my wide receiver room, which is ultra deep, like Casey Concepcion's my 4th wide receiver, DK is my 3rd wide receiver. I'd probably, by the time I need a receiver to help, Tank Dell and Antonio Williams will be on their horses, ready to rumble. So it's perfect timing. Okay, so you're saying, you're saying sleeper players, deep sleepers, like where? Running back, wide receiver?
So pretty much like for my last, I just been noticing, because I've been doing the best ball drafts too, and like for my last picks, I've been just trying to think of random sleepers at the very end. And James Conner's been popping up on that like last pick ADP. And I'm trying to think, like, I even did Najee Harris on one because I'm just thinking maybe he'll sign with the team or something.
Yeah, I think you're reaching at players I don't really care about. Connor.
Yeah, well,
you said Connor, right? Connor, Najee, like, bro, come on. These guys.
Well, I'm talking like, last pick of the draft. Who are you picking on your last pick?
I get it, but I feel like we can find some better picks than that. Like, I'd rather have Jordan James and Kalen Black. I know that consumes 2 spots, but like that is a league-winning potential hold. Versus I promise you Connor and Najee are getting you diddly squat for a majority of the season. Nicholas Singleton, the rookie running back. Claiborne, the potential at some point starting running back for the Minnesota Vikings. Like these are swings, bro. These are good swings.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, I've been grabbing those guys too as well. I've just been kind of thinking like, because everybody kind of forgets like, and kind of gets. Like, you know, and then it's like, oh, I should have known James Conner was going to slam some TDs or whatever because, I don't know, they've got a crowded backfield. But it always gets weird when the season pops around and, you know, there's always a couple players that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, but
of course,
you got to start thinking differently than those guys. Those guys are all the same. You're repeating the same name. Like, you're like, what about the old man that's got nothing left? You know, what about the guy that's completely trashed? Nobody wants him. Like, it's the same. Like, let's think of some more exciting names, bro. Let's dig into your bag of tricks a little bit.
I'm getting Claiborne. Singleton's going way earlier for me, and people are grabbing Claiborne. I'm getting Troy Franklin as my last pick a lot. Like, those are, you know, like more, I don't know if you think of
this is Dynasty. We're talking Dynasty?
No, I'm just talking best ball. I'm just doing best ball
draft. Bro, I'm drafting. I know the ADPs, bro. Claiborne is the last round. I just got him right here. He's not going earlier. He's not going earlier at all. Emmett Johnson goes like second to last round sometimes. Claiborne is there almost every time in the last round. There's your James Conner. So hold on, let me look at
like 30 drafts now, and like people get sneaky. You know what I mean? We all kind of want the same players.
I don't know, bro. I Claiborne's but listen to me real quick. The ADPs are the ADPs. When someone comes into my show and says, especially when we're talking about best ball, like we have the data right in front of us. If you're saying like an ESPN, like maybe you have a point, but you can't come in here and say Claiborne's going earlier. His ADPs is ADP. His average draft position on what's probably like 100,000 drafts so far. Data doesn't move when you're talking about big data like that. Well, that is locked in.
I mean, dude, I've done 30 best ball drafts in the past 2 days practically. I'm not even kidding. So I mean, I might be, and the thing is, I've noticed too. I've noticed that, like, you know, certain players like the Kalen Black, the Claiborne, and even Troy Franklin. Sometimes when I try to grab him, he's already gone. Which is like most people. Some drafts he's not even getting.
Okay, but listen to what I'm saying. The ADP is the ADP. It is big data. You can't tell me Claiborne's not there more times than he's not, because his average draft position is freaking last round. Okay. So let me give you some names in that territory, and then I'll got to go over to the other phone caller. This is what I would say for RBs. We're talking pick 200. So we'll start at 200 because that's right around where it turns in, right? So you've got Ray Davis, Sean Tucker, Kalen Black, Claiborne. I took Claiborne at his exact ADP. That means that 9 times out of 10, he is not going to go the round above. 9 times out of 10, he's not going to go the round above. He's going. I can't hear you. You sound like you're in a submarine, bro.
I'm sorry, man. Well, anyways, I've had people reach for some weird players early, but I do the same sometimes. Anyway, man, it's good advice. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Well, hold on. I'm not done. Kalen Black and Jordan James. I love that. If you can get both of them with the last 2 rounds. If you have ETN Kamara, if not, I love Emmett Johnson goes about 180, so that doesn't always fall. If I go to 200 at wide receiver, we're talking about let's see here. It gets a little thin at wide receiver. Skylar Bell, I can't. Again, I don't know what you're doing with the phone, bro. It sounds like you're in a submarine. I don't know if you put it on your shoulder or something.
Sorry, dude. I think I just have a shitty phone. Maybe I was on speaker, so.
Oh, okay. I think the wide receivers thin out, bro. You almost got to
it's real thin.
You almost got to say I got to be.
Who Bell is?
Skylar Bell, the rookie.
You said Bell?
Yeah, Skylar Bell. Skylar Bell, the rookie receiver for the Buffalo Bills. I would say.
Oh shit! Okay.
Or Chris Bell, he's going to be out for a little while, but this player you probably are not unseating.
That's a sneaky one.
You're not unseating your top 3 wide receivers most likely, or your team's so bad. Like if you draft Chris Bell and you need him in weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, your team is off to a really bad start. But Chris Bell could come around.
About a gamble pick, so yeah, just like something at the end that's like a deep reach, kind of like for just some,
Chris Bell will come around. Chris Bell will come around, so that's a decent one. Debo's a little later, so you can't look at. I would say
I got so much Debo, dude. Yeah, I got so much Debo right now.
All right, man. We'll see you later. Call in anytime.
Thanks. Yep.
I was trying to help him, but he kept interrupting over and over. So it's like, I'm going to go. I'm trying to help the guy. I like him. Jake, if you're rewatching this on the replay or you're still watching, I appreciate you. But I was trying to give you some advice. But rock out, you're live.
Can I give you my terrible team so far?
Give me your terrible team, rock out.
All right. Quarterback, Mahomes, Darnold. Running back, Love, Irving, Tuden, Manungai. Wide receiver, Chase, Rice, Burden,
Jeez.
Parker Washington, KC, Goddard, and Big.
Bro, you're cooking. That's good. That's one of those teams, rock out, where you're kind of back. Like you've been reading a couple of them. I'm like, these are the ones where I'm like, you got like an extra guy in there somehow. That's good. That's a nice little team, bro.
I got Love in the third round.
Yeah, that's it. Something happened there. I could tell. Like there's something that didn't belong there. That's a nice team, bro.
Yeah,
I like it. All right. I'm heading over to the Dynasty. You got anything else, or do you got a Dynasty topic?
Dynasty topic. Let's see. Have we done anything on James Cook?
James Cook. James Cook would be a good topic. That wouldn't be a bad one. Hey, Simi's calling in real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what his trade was.
Okay.
Or what his team was with the double tight end. Simi Valley, you're live. I appreciate you calling, bro.
Yo, what up, Smitty?
All right, hit me with
my team.
Hit me with it in order. Or write down rounds 1 through like 8.
So it's a slow draft. So it's still going on. 12-team dynasty startup. Round
tight
one.
Tight end premium.
No.
Okay, so that's where you would have potentially a little bit of an advantage, but since it's not tight end premium, but it is dynasty, it's 12-team.
Yep.
Okay, hit me with it in order, and we're doing double tight end here at 2 and 3, which is going to be what my talking point is about. Go ahead.
Round 1, Bijan. Round 2, McBride. Round 3, Bowers. Round 4, Judkins. Round 5, JD5. Round 6 and 7, Lemon and Waddle. Round 8, Corum. Round 9, Purdy. Oh, and I'm on the clock, I guess.
Okay.
Round 10.
So I got to say, this JD5 was a steal. So the one thing I will tell you is that when you do something in my mind where I feel like it's a mess up, like taking 2 tight ends, I think in a non-premium, non-best ball where there's optimal scoring is a mess up. But if you get a makeup somewhere like JD5 in round 5 in a dynasty draft, where I think he probably deserves to go a whole round or round and a half higher. And I think I overheard that Josh Allen went in the first round in this draft. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, he went 4th.
It's crazy. Like, so
Yeah,
it's the one QB, right? 1 QB.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you ended up getting, and I do like Josh Allen more. He's my number 1 by far. But getting this value here is incredible. And it almost kind of makes up for this here in a way. But I will say, looking at this squad, I do think you're going to, like, if you would crush this pick, and you might like Judkins. I don't love Judkins. If you would have crushed this pick in a way that almost felt like you're getting a 3rd rounder, you would have recovered beautifully. Like, because you did recover with the JD5. These are monster picks, bro. JD5, Bijan, McBride, Bowers. I hate to say this out loud because, and this is the part of the negative, I guess, when people are watching the show, it's like now no one's going to trade for Judkins or whatever. But I know there's some people that love Judkins. If you could turn Judkins into a safer player And some people love him. And I could be wrong about him. So not everybody watching should be like, well, now I'm not going to trade with Simi Valley for Judkins. If you like Judkins, go after him. And if you like Judkins, keep him. But I think that if this pick was like if you would hit a home run with this pick, I think you would have made a move that I think would have been totally salvageable, or not even salvageable, but you hit a home run with it. I just think that looking at this team, you put McBride in the tight end spot, you put Bowers in the flex spot, you put Bijan in the running back 1 spot. How many running backs are you starting? 2 and then a flex?
2 flex. And if I so instead of Judkins, my options would have been, I could have went with Higgins or Tyson.
That's a good team, though. You did good. Waddle might even be.
I should mention, I did get a 2027 first and second rounder.
Oh, in what? In what?
In the same league. So I actually had the first pick, and I had Gibbs, and I traded down to Bijan with the second pick.
You got a first and second for trading down to Bijan in the dynasty? Wow. That's awesome, bro. You know what I would do if I were you? This is a really good team. The only thing I would say is, as much as I love Bowers, who was there at the Bowers pick at let's say running back?
So running back, Bucky would have been available.
Okay, and some people think Bucky will bust. So I mean, this is all preference here.
It would be Bucky, Hendy, Hall.
Okay.
Or McCaffrey.
I like Bucky. Okay, so Bucky, and who was there at wide receiver at 4 instead of Judkins?
So let me just make sure I'm doing this. It would have been Higgins, Tyson, MHJ, Odunze, Zay Flowers.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think you did pretty good.
Instead of Bowers, there was Collins.
Okay.
Igbuka.
Oh, okay.
And Bucky.
Okay. So let's say Buka was here, and then what running backs were available? You said at 4.
At 4 was, so I was at the 4.12. So Scadaboo went at the 4.2. Saquon at the 4.3. ETN 4.4. Kyron 4.6.
You could have got ETN.
Harvey. No, I could have gotten only.
What about Price?
Yeah, no, I said that wrong. No, I could have gotten.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I'm doing a snake right.
ETN. Well, regardless, I'm going to go in a different direction in a second. I do think Bijan McBride.
I could have gotten, Tootin, Henry, Price.
Okay. So I guess Price. I think this team would have been better if you had gone Bijan, McBride, Buka, Price, JD5, like in a dynasty. But at the same time, bro, your team, you still got lots of firepower with Bowers and McBride. Just don't trade one to the highest bidder, and understand that you can make a trade after week 1. Okay? You can make a trade after if the right deal's not there, wait. If you're questioning it, don't trade McBride or Bowers. Otherwise, you're screwing up you're just digging a different hole and ruining it for yourself. This is a pretty good team.
I'm planning on running with it.
Okay, so here's what I probably would have done. Let's say who was there in round 2 instead of McBride, because I tend to not take a tight end in the second round, unless
it would have been Bowers, Collins, Igbuka.
No, in round 2. Who was there in round 2?
Yeah, I was at the end of 2. Because I was the first pick. So I took McBride at the end of 2.
I feel like there's got to be other names that were available there at 2.
Well, it helped that Josh Allen and Drake May and Joe Burrow were taken
I know, but I'm
second
saying
round.
that's what I'm saying. How is that not? How do you not have a better option at 2? It sounds like there's more players available at 2 than Nico.
No.
I mean, you did pretty good then. I mean, overall, I think I can't imagine if you're telling me all those quarterbacks went though. I can't imagine you're leaving out names here. There's got to be someone in 2. Read off who was there from your pick on.
So I'll just read. All right, so my original pick: Gibbs, Bijan, Chase, Allen, Puka, Neighbors, JSN, Love, Genty, St. Brown, Jefferson, James Cook, C.D. Lamb, Hampton, Achan, May, Taylor, Pickens, Chase Brown, Rice, Drake London, Joe Burrow, K9, then me, McBride Bowers. Because after that, it's Collins, Igbuka. Like, I felt like it kind of fell to me, and it's like that was
keep going though, because there's no way there's not names because you listed so many QBs.
Collins, Igbuka, McMillan, Bucky, Andy, Warren, Olave, Paul, Garrett Wilson, CMC, Javonte Williams, Cannon, Scattaboo, Barkley.
Yeah. So also, this is what happens when you draft with like-minded people. Is like there's no fat, and all the fat is trimmed down, and it leaves like literally the weirdest ADP. But okay, well, honestly, bro, I think you did pretty good considering with all the details. That's why I wanted you to call in because is there a way that you still did really well? And the truth is, you didn't do that bad. I mean, McBride is a beast, bro. So McBride, Bowers, Judkins. You know what I would do if I was you then? I wouldn't even fret about what you did wrong or right because it's over. And honestly, I'm doing this assessment and I'm not feeling like you made big mistakes at all. I personally am not a huge fan of Lemon. I know a lot of people are. I'd be trying to pair Judkins and Lemon together for one better player. I would also be tempted to trade either one or Waddle with the first rounder that you acquired or your own. Your own might be better. Maybe you keep the better one, but regardless, or moving 2 first rounders in Judkins for one player, moving 2 first rounders in Lemon for one player, and get a monster in here to fill the void that going early tight end twice cost you. And I don't believe in Judkins for the long term. I would love to see that upgraded. If you can do that, bro, or go after a Mike Evans somehow cheaper than he should be. Go after a CMC, cheaply. And people are maybe trying to get rid of older players. If go after a Henry, try and get somebody pretty cheaply. You just got a first rounder for free and a move down. You could afford to throw that first rounder into a potentially, like, I'm not saying just do it for a guy like Henry or CMC. I'd try and do something a little more creative. But you could afford to throw that pick. You could also say to yourself, like, I'm going to have 2 first rounders and I'm just going to ride this out. If I fall short, I've got 2 first round picks to help build on. I'm fine with that too. But if you can get the right player now, I would get the right player now. I think your team, if you get an additional monster, bro, and I'm not saying Evans and CMC and Henry in a dynasty are the right answer. I'm just saying those are if they're cheaper, not for the first round pick, but if you can do it in another way, it would be a very intriguing proposition. But if not, like Purdy and second rounders and all to get like a Henry, like I see it happen all the time with Henry. If you can't do that, try and go get a dynasty monster that we love using Judkins in a first rounder, using Lemon in a first rounder, using both the first rounders and Waddle, and try and get somebody that you're like, I don't care if I don't have draft picks. I would take this player in the draft no matter what, like an Igbuka or like CD Lamb or something. If you could trade 2 first rounders and Lemon for JJ, you know what I mean? Throw JJ into this lineup and boom, I would do that. I would easily trade a first rounder in Lemon for JJ. I would contemplate trading both first rounders and Lemon for even better wide receiver that feels like neighbor, somebody that you can have for 10 years.
Yeah, I tried to trade Judkins, a first rounder, 2 second rounders. My what was it? It was 13th, 14th for H-Han. I couldn't get that.
Well, yeah, H-N's hard to go after RBs too in a dynasty because people don't want it. There's very few people that have 3 good RBs, I'd bet, in your league. So to get rid of one is a lot harder. Given that you have Bijan, I'm a little okay with you trying to fly a little light with the quorum. I like a Manungai or Jonah Coleman if you can. Probably I don't know how hard it'd be to get those guys because I talk them up every day. And if everybody in this league is a follower of the channel, I would say that's why some of the older guys that I think people are they're too overly concerned about. JJ, he's getting older. I hear people literally say he's no longer in the top tier wide receivers because he's older. It's like, come on, man. JJ still got another 4 years left minimum of being an elite of the elite. Nico Collins is so cheap. Go after Nico. Go after BTJ cheaply. Go after, I don't know. See if Hendy's available. I'm not saying use McBride or Bowers to do that. I'm saying like I'm trying to use those first rounders. You got a free first rounder, bro. I'm trying to figure out a way to use it. Just keep throwing stuff at the wall until it sticks, man. Don't give up on trying to. I'm trying to think of another one. Yeah, man. Call back if you got another one. Appreciate you. Later.
We'll do. Later.
Rock out. Anything else? We're gonna do Dynasty here. Anything else?
No, I'll catch you on Dynasty.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, cool.
Man, that's a tough one. I mean, he's got a really good team though. And that's why I wanted to write it out because usually this is a grave mistake, but I had a sense that there might be more to it because it's a follower league. It's a YouTube channel member, like people from the show that watch the show league. And so I had a feeling there's going to be something weird going on. And, because there's so much sniping and everything. And everybody's like-minded. Everybody likes the same players. And when he mapped out what he had, he didn't really drop the ball. Like McBride and Bowers were the best players, kind of at that pick anyway. Nico would have been intriguing. I think Nico is very, very underrated in Dynasty. So if you had Bijan, McBride, and Nico, I'm kind of okay with that. I love Bowers more in a vacuum. But if I would have got, let's say, Bijan, McBride, Nico, and a different player here like Hendy or something, I would have been a lot happier with the team overall. But man, I mean, you still got lots of firepower. Some people love Judkins. Don't just go off of what I say. Maybe I'm wrong, but man, I don't think he's gonna long-term pencil out. But that's me. Try and get Dylan Sampson, I guess, but it wouldn't be that important, I guess. It's a good team though, Simi. I think you'll be fine. Just make sure you don't pull the trigger on getting rid of one of the tight ends too early. Like you're panicked and you're like, oh, this is the highest bid I'm getting. I'll just do it. Like just wait, let him ball out in the season. Chuck says, I have 12-man ESPN 2-keeper at the same round value. Genty round 2, JSN round 4, and Buka round 7, Pickens round 8, Dak 12. Cannot choose first round pick. Thanks, Smitty. 2 keepers at same round value. So JSN is a lock. Absolute lock. I love Book, but you can't pass on that Pickens round 8. So JSN and Pickens probably final answer. And as much as I hate to tell you to go away from Genty, he has a borderline 1-2 turn value. So I mean, I'm not saying I don't love him there, but you gotta love JSN and Pickens, and that's just the end of the day. That's it. So if you're keeping 2, those are it. That's easy. Those value, like you just gotta compare like what your team looks like. If you do that, you're gonna get these extra players. If you were to talk about Genty round 2, then you don't get a second rounder. Would you rather have? Who was it again? It was Pickens. Would you rather Pickens in round 8 and still have a second round player? Who's the second round player going to be? Just name that player out loud and say it out loud to yourself. Let's say it's I don't know. Let's say it's a Bowers, or let's say it's a freaking Kenneth Walker or whatever. Kenneth Walker and Pickens is better than Genty, and that's what you got to look at. If Genty's going in your second round spot, then you don't get a second rounder. If you're taking Pickens in 8, you're getting the second rounder. You're getting Kenneth Walker or ETN or Joe Burrow or somebody with Pickens over Genty. It's a total no-brainer. All right, guys. I will see you all on the Dynasty channel in T-minus 5 minutes. I'll cook up an idea. It'll probably be a face-off, this player versus the field video like we've been doing. See you all there. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for the super chats, Vader and Life and Young and Chuck. Thank you for the super chats. See you all on Dynasty in T-minus 5 minutes. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, live whenever big news breaks, and live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. Dynasty channel link is in the description. See you all in roughly 5 minutes on the Dynasty channel.